Hi, this is HardballRetro. Welcome to the Retro Dome. Today we're going to do a quick tutorial on how to create and edit a team within Earl Weaver Baseball. I will be using the DOS IBM PC version, the 1.5 release. This game was published by Electronic Arts back in 1987 for the IBM PC and the Amiga. 1988 saw a release for the PC 98, and 1989 for the Macintosh and Apple II. Game was developed and designed by Don Daglow and Eddie Dombrower. I'm not going to read off all the credits here. You can go to the Moby Games entry to see all of the credits for the game. And it was developed by Mirage Graphics for Electronic Arts. So I loaded in running this in DOSBox. I do have the original box, manuals, discs, everything for this game. So this is probably my favorite baseball game of all time. So the Amiga version, especially with the addition of the speech synthesis that you could edit the pronunciation of the player names, all of the various editions of Earl Weaver allowed you to create your own ballpark. It was the first game, as far as I know, first computer baseball sim to allow you to enter split stats for righties and lefties. Physics-based animation, so it wasn't like a canned animation. Every time you hit the ball, it didn't land in the same, in the same exact spot. And they heavily utilized the strategy and discussions with Earl Weaver to show the positioning of the players on the field for certain plays. You had the Ask Earl function if you weren't sure what to do in a given situation or if you wanted his advice. So there were just so many new features that went into this game as compared to previous computer baseball sims that it kind of blew everything else out of the water. But enough about me rambling on about Earl Weaver Baseball. Let's get to how do we create a team within the game. So what I've done is I have the commissioner's disk, which allows you to do much more granular team and league creation, data entry, and so forth. So I'm using the commissioner's disk here. So it says commissioner's disk 1.5. And so I'm going to press any key, and we're going to go to Advanced Stats Editor. I've already gone through the trouble of creating the league. So at the bottom you have create a brand new league, then you have league division editor. I've already done all that. So I'm going to go edit an existing team, but I'll wipe out the stats for a couple players and then we'll re-enter them. So we're going to select the Los Angeles Angels from 60 to 64. Press F10 for finished, and then we're going to go to select a player, which I can also do through the F4 key. Alright, so let's just do one batter, one pitcher. So we'll do Leon Wagner, sure. Now, what you're going to notice here is that I've used the split stats from Baseball Reference, and those, I guess they're missing a handful of games, so that his actual totals come up a bit short. He had 37 homers and 107 RBIs, I think, something like that. So we're just a tiny bit short on the homers and ribbies. I'm going to just double check the numbers here and we'll try to get that straightened out. But so I've already got Wagner in here, but we're going to get his numbers as close as possible here. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, so we're looking at Wagner. Okay. And so what I'm going to do here is you normally would go into the edit player screen and it would be blank, right? So I'm going to do F8 to clear stats. F8. There we go. So now if I type in, I'm going to hit enter, type in Leon, hit enter, type in Wagner, and so forth. This was his 1962 season. By default, you're going to get a pitcher. You're going to want to hit enter on that. Change this player into a fielder. Yes. Now I can put his positions here. Left field, right field. All right. And okay, so he bats left. Right. Okay. No injuries. This would be if you want to force him to miss a few games, you could type in a number there manually. If you're simulating a season and he gets injured, that number will appear there. And we're doing split stats, right? We could do total stats, but we're doing split stats. So if I do here, let's see, what has he got versus a lefty. All right. So 196.50, and then doubles, triples, homers. We've got 9, 1, and 5. Okay. Walks and Ks. 1335. Versus righties, we got 402, 111, 12, 4, 30, walks 34, 51. Now accumulated stats we're going to ignore because that's going to accumulate as we're simulating a season, so we're not typing anything down there. Now, I'm going to go into his baseball reference here, looking up 1962 Leon Wagner. And then I'll superimpose my screen here, so you won't see the baseball reference screen in my background here. You're just going to see the Earl Weaver Baseball commissioner disc screen. Okay, so he had 160 and runs 96, 107. Sack hits is a 7. Stolen bases is 7. Caught stealing is 5. Now, this I'm going to put back the way I had it from the game previously before I cleared his stats out. Alright, so I've given him a 6 for power. Now, these are subjective, right? I don't have the formula in front of me, but I had done a certain range. So like from 20 to 24 homers, you get a 6. From 25 to 29 homers, you get a 7, or something along those lines, right? Hit and run, I'm giving him 1. He's kind of a slugger. I don't know that he's much of a hit and run guy. I was not alive back in the 60s, so I don't have a frame of reference there. He did have 7 sack hits, so I'm giving him a 3 for a bunt. I think 4 is basically, these are like on a 1 to 10 scale, so 4 is like average, and, you know, like an 8 or a 9 would be like an extremely proficient bunter. A 1 would be like the guy never bunts, or something like that. So he's got a 4 for run, 4 for range, 5 for arm. Fielding, he had 6 errors, 163 putouts, 7 assists, and his fielding rating in right field was actually higher than his left field one, barely. Alright, so what we need to do though now is we've got a discrepancy in the split stats on Baseball Reference versus his actual totals, right? So he should have 612 at-bats. So can we get him up to the right number here? And he should have a 268 batting average. So I'm short by, what, 12, 14 at-bats. So what if I do 4, 6, what did I say, 14, right? So yeah, 612 he should have, and he should have 164 hits. Alright, does that look right? 160, 612 into 164, okay. And let's see if his double triples homers. He's short by 2 homers, so I'm going to give him 2 more versus righties, which is probably a fair assumption. Walks, he's off by 3, so I'm going to give him 3 more walks from the right-hand side. And 87 Ks, he was short by 1. And I should give him 52 Ks then. Alright, so those numbers appear to be correct now. Alright, so Leon Wagner's good to go. Save stats is a 9. F9, sorry, F9, and then F10. And then I'm going to do, so I can scroll through the players by doing F3 and F4, right? So let's just go through the list here, and I'm going to redo Dean Chance's numbers next. All right, again, if you created a new league, you would be entering all of these from scratch. And clear stats. All right, so Dean Chance. Oh, actually, reset stats. Hold on a second. Let's put that back. I wanted to screenshot that so I would have his speed, control, fatigue, and bunt ratings at my disposal, because I'm going to need them in a minute, and I don't want to have to remember them. Alright, so did that. Let's try this again. Dean Chance, 1964. He is a pitcher. He's a right-hander. Again, you could force him to rest a certain number of days. You're running a sim. After each start, this will probably put a 2 or a 3 or a 4 in there, depending on how fatigued he was in his previous start. Alright, so let me pull him up on Baseball Reference here. 1964 Dean Chance, Cy Young season. And am I missing any? Let's see, yeah, let's put the versus lefty and versus righty info up first here. Plug that in. Okay, then we'll deal with the rest of the numbers. So 451, 86, 3, 52, 88, 543, 108, 4, 34, 119. Now, his batting stats I'm not going to deal with because I'm using a DH in this league, so he's never going to get to bat anyway. Okay, I can put in his speed and control numbers here. Alright, similar deal here. Speed I kind of based on strikeouts per inning. Control, I think I used whip to figure those numbers. Fatigue was like an innings into games or game starts, and kind of tweaked it as needed. Bunt, I think I gave everybody a 4 for bunt. I didn't get too granular with that. Fielding average is his real fielding average. Okay, so let's go to BREF. So Dean was 20-9 with a, let's see, 46 games, 35 starts, 7. I think that's complete. Let me double check that. No, that was 7 games finished. Let me fix that. Okay, complete games, 15 complete games, and 11 shutouts, although we're not typing shutouts in here. There we go, his innings. Alright. I don't know if you can I type the point one in? Yeah, it'll take it. If you don't type the point in, let's say I did, right? So I've got to type in, like if it was 0 even, alright, because if I just typed in 278, it's going to convert it. Alright, so I'm going to do 278.1. Alright, he did allow 194 hits, so my versus lefty versus righty numbers add up properly. His home runs allowed add up properly. 51 earned runs for a 1.64 ERA, 1.65. Earl Weaver rounds it down by 1. Not really a concern. Only hit 2 batters, and he did not balk. Alright, so that is Dean Chance. We're going to save stats, F9, and F10, we're finished. And that's all we're going to do here. The rest of the team is already in here. I'm going to go to finish. Do I want to save player stats for this team? Yes, I do. Finished. Alright. Not going to go into some of the other features here, but ballpark editor, grant days off, that's a cool feature. Schedule a league, draft a league, so a lot of functionality here with the commissioner's disc. Highly recommended. Return to DOS. Alright, so now I want to do Weaver E, which means use EGA graphics. Okay, go to full program. Now we're going to pick the team that we just edited. And that is the Angels 60-64. And the visiting team, let's do, I don't know, 65-69 Angels. Sure. Gonna use, let's see, I will manage the 60-64 squad. Earl will manage that one, 65-69 Angels. We want to do 1 pitch, not full at bat. We're going to do a non-league game. Using the keyboard, designated hitter, injuries, doesn't matter, it's exhibition. Select park. So we're playing in Chavez Ravine. And play ball. Alright, so let's do a little exhibition game. The old Wheel of Protection. So this is a kind of a must-have to play the game. So there's a wheel that comes with the game, code wheel, that you need to line up these 3 items. So I've got to find Comiskey Park. There's Comiskey Park. Section Z76. Where are you? So Comiskey Park is on the outer edge of the wheel. Then I'm spinning the wheel. Section Z76 is lined up with Comiskey Park. And now I have to look at the right field number. And these numbers are tiny. Looks like that. There we go. All right, we're in. So I can ask Earl, or I can select my own pitcher. Let's do ask Earl. I'm sure he's going to pick Dean Chance for me. There we go. But if I wanted to, I could arrow up and over and pick one of these guys. And we're finished there. And for the 65, let's pick Messersmith, right? Nothing wrong with Freddie Newman, but let's try Andy Messersmith. Ask Earl to pick my lineup. I don't want to get too deep in the weeds here, so I'm just going to go. I think Buck Rogers would probably be the starting catcher based on the fact that he's a switch hitter. And Willie Smith. I think Willie Smith would play right field instead of Lou Clinton here. We'll move him up in the order. All right, I think we're good there. And I forgot to move Willie Smith to right field. Yeah, we gotta go down here. I could put Wagner there too. There we go. All right, and then for the 65-69 squad, alrighty. It's Jimmy Hall. There's Willie Smith there. You know what, since I have Willie Smith in the lineup for me, let's put can we get John Stone in here? Let's see. He's a center field only. Cardinal, center field, left field. All right, so let's move Jose to left. John Stone's in center. Anybody else? I mean, Fragosi's going to play for both teams. That's fine. And let's go with that. Sure. All right, one final check, and we are good to go. All right, let's play ball. A little exhibition between the Angels 60 through 64 and the Angels 65 through 69. And yes, I realize the Angels didn't start until 61. It just happened to work out that they had enough players to allow me to do the 61 to 64 team. Oh, Leon Wagner hits one. Ken Hunt. Oh, that's out of here. All right. 3-0. I mean, if you're gonna stake Dean Chance to a 3-0 lead, he's probably gonna win this contest. Fregosi with a ground out. Paul Shaw, ground out. Jose Cardinal versus Chance. Hits that one down the line and caught. If you haven't done so, definitely want to check out the Amiga version. Oh, that's down the line. It was high and deep, but not far enough. Felix Torres hits one up the gap. Caught. the Amiga version blew me away. Sound effects, graphics, the whole package basically. Definitely check it out if you can. I do have the Amiga version. I can play it in the Amiga emulator is called Win UAE, I believe. The game is playable there, but there's a echo whenever like there's a crack of the bat or the announcer says something, so it's kind of annoying. Not quite sure how to fix it. I've tried a number of different settings in there, could never get it to quite work how I wanted it. So I can play the game, but the echo bugs me. I do have an Amiga 500 with the original disc, so I can play it on the original hardware. Wagner gets a hold of that one, that's gone. Alright. George Burnett throwing in the pen, and Fred Newman. At bat, Ken Hunt. Oh, that one's blasted to center, but playable. Alright, head to the bottom of the third with the 60-64 Angels up 5-zip. I realize I should have made us the home team because I set the stadium as Chavez Ravine, which is also known as Dodger Stadium, where the Angels played for several seasons before Anaheim Stadium was built. So, oops. Again, it's just exhibition. Doesn't really matter. Oh, that one's gone. I for instant replay. Paul Shaw, only 6 homers off the year, goes yard against Dean Chance. Look at that. Okay. Well, that was the instant replay. We didn't have back-to-back homers there, just to confirm that. Card now flies out, so top 4, 5-2. The Angels 60-64 squad leading the 65-69ers. Alright, Buck Rogers goes down the line, into the corner, but playable. Caught. Billy Moran, second base. And he's out. Alright, Mincher, Reichert, and Hall due up, facing Dean Chance. Chance with the 5-2 lead in the 4th here. Here's a ground out to second by Mincher. Here's Rick Reichert. Strike 3. Jimmy Hall, the batter. Grounds that one hard, right at the second baseman, and that'll retire the side. Alright, top 5. Earl has Bob Lee throwing in the pen. At bat, Felix Torres. I could tweak the CPU cycles in DOSBox to slow down the game slightly. Those announcements kind of fly by pretty quickly there, but again, we're just doing a demo here, so I'm going to leave it. Fregosi lines that one to left, but it's caught. Alright, Lee Thomas. Pair of runners aboard against Messersmith. Thomas rocks that one to right center, but it's caught. And the runner tags, so we've got first and third. 2 outs, Leon Wagner. Strike 3. Alright, bottom of 5, Jay Johnstone. facing Dean Chance. That one's down the line and right, caught. Bobby Knopp, 2-2 pitch, strike 3, swung right through it. Tom Satriano, strike 3, and Chance is mowing him down here. Other than that home run to Paul Shaw, he's in command. Bob Lee throwing in the pen. Ken Hunt with the whiff. Willie Smith pops that one up, playable, and the catcher's got it. Here comes Earl. Buck Rogers steps in, 0-2 pitch, skies that one to center, caught for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 6th with the 60-64 Angels up 5-2. Grounded to third, infield hit. All right. Shaw rocks that one to left, but playable. Jose Cardinal. That one's going to dink in there for a base hit, and the runner's going to scurry over to third. All right, Don Mincher, the batter. Strike 3. Chance, 74 pitches. The 2-1 pitch. There's a drive to center field, going back. And plenty of room, makes the catch. All right. Billy Moran due up here, facing Messersmith. That one's down the line and left, and caught. All right, here comes Earl again. Felix Torres, the batter, 1 for 2 on the day. Oh, down the line. Oh, almost to the track. Albie Pearson, the leadoff man, 1 for 1 with a pair of walks. Grounds out, 4-3. All right, 7th inning stretch. Jimmy Hall, 2-2 pitch, strike 3. Jay Johnstone, the batter. Skies that one, right field, 2 outs. Bobby Knopp. Oh, lined right back to the pitcher, out number 3, top of the 8th. Halos 60-64, up by 3. Fregosi draws the walk against Messersmith. He's at 103 pitches. All right, Lee Thomas. Blast that one. Left center, but caught. Leon Daddy Wags Wagner homered already today. That's going to be a fly out to right field. Ken L. Hunt, also with a home run on the day, but he's caught looking there. Strike 3 called. All right, Tom Satriano facing Dean Chance. High bounder. Oh, nice play by the first baseman. Fregosi grounds out to short. Fregosi grounds out to Fregosi. Paul Shaw almost legged out an infield hit there, but they got him. All right, here we go. Top of 9. Willie Smith, the batter. Messersmith still in there. 121 pitches, and he's out. Earl's coming out to talk to him. The catcher, Buck Rogers. Oh, Earl's coming out to argue. He didn't like that call. And he's arguing with the ump, and he's going to return to the dugout. And now he's coming out. The other Earl's coming out. Earl's taking out Andy Messersmith. Bob Lee is now in the game. Billy Moran. Ken Tatum throwing in the pen. Earl has Minnie Rojas throwing in the pen. There we go. There's a base hit with 1 out against Chance. Earl's taking out Rick Reichard. Okay, let's take a look at our box score here. Box score, Wagner and Hunt with homers. Only 4 hits on the day. But that was enough to score 5 runs. Pitching, Chance, 9 innings, 6 hits, no walks, 6 Ks, 2 runs, 1 homer allowed. Alright, Fregosi, 2 hits, home run by Paul Shaw. Pitching, Messersmith, only 4 hits, but 4 walks, 5 Ks, 5 earned. Bob Lee with a third of an inning, a walk and a strikeout. Alright, well, that'll do it. So hope you enjoyed our little demo of Earl Weaver Baseball. Again, this is the version 1.5 for the IBM PC, but there are versions for several other computer systems from back in the day. So great game, highly recommended. Check it out. Until next time, keep playing ball. Take care. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.